So we can start the commission here. Let me go ahead and generate to him so you can get back in. Sorry about the technical difficulties. That the all right, let's see if he gets back in here momentarily here. Getting everything situated back here. Getting everybody back on to the right link here. Once we get everything going here, we can get back started to where we left off on that Texas game and get our predictions right along into this show here. So hopefully he'll get in here momentarily. He didn't leave. Ready. So we got back here. We getting everything here. So sorry for the technical difficulties we had. The first time it conked out in a while on us. Usually we get a whole 3-hour show without conking out here. Let me throw him into the stream. He's back in the stream now. So we got him back in the stream. Let me get back down to Texas. There we go. Got the Texas Longhorn. Got him right there. So he get back in here. There we go. Now we're back. All right. What a great technical difficulties, right? Got
a little the beauty of live.
Got to really got you back into the show. So we got everybody back. So hopefully we'll get some viewers back in here momentarily here.
Make sure we're back on my end.
Yeah, I got to check too. Yeah,
yep. Yeah, we're back.
So we're back. So I gotta get that. And let me go ahead and share this. Let me go ahead and share it real quick. Hopefully people will get back into it here.
I just shared on my end.
Yeah, I'm sharing it right now to a lot of. The good thing about sharing here, because I already shared a lot of places, and all I gotta do is go back because they're on the top of my list. All I gotta do is go back and
my perverted self.
Just rambling. Just go ahead and. That's good about the cell phone. You can do it right here on your cell phone and get it all shared, and then it'll stay right where you need to be to get everybody back on.
You can do what you got to do.
Promoting this thing here, so we got it on. We on back, so I got everybody shared here. So the second video is now shared. We good to go here. So let's go back and finish our point up here. I hope it didn't freeze up again. There we go. All right. So let's finish it up real quick here. We're a little bit behind now since that little 5 or 10 minute break, so we can forego. You need another commercial break because we're supposed to go on a commercial break after the South Florida game. You might have to skip that break. All right. So who you got in this ball game? You got Kansas. You got Texas.
I got Kansas winning this. I got an upset. I'm hitting the button. Boop boop boop. Upset alert.
I got Texas winning this ball game here. We're gonna go quickly to rapid fire all the way down till we get to the South Florida Navy game. Indiana at Maryland. Who you got?
Give me Fear the Turtle. Give me Maryland.
Got Maryland also in this one. Illinois at Purdue. Who you got?
I know the Boilermaker is. My good friend Matt is a Boilermaker, but give me Illinois.
You got Illinois. I'm taking Purdue on this one. You got Illinois. Wagner at Rutgers. Who you got?
Ooh, I like Wagner. I like them. Ooh, they're sexy. Give me Rutgers, though.
I got Rutgers at home beating Wagner. Bowling Green at Georgia Tech. Who you got?
Woo! If Georgia Tech believed in sports other than technology, I would go with them. But I got a feeling they're about the Yellow Jackets. Give me Georgia Tech.
Taking the Ramble Wreck of Georgia Tech with that one. Houston at Texas Tech. Who you got?
The Red Raiders. Texas Tech, baby.
I got Texas Tech in that one also. Baylor at UCF.
Give me Baylor.
Taking Baylor. I'm going to take UCF in this. Playing at home, UCF is tough to play. Arkansas State at Massachusetts. Who you got?
Give me Mass. Give me Mass.
taking Mass. I'm gonna take Mass too because I don't know Arkansas State ain't good. So let's go here to this game here. Boom. We're gonna put you on the screen. So now Florida Bulls goes into Annapolis, Maryland to take on the Navy Midshipmen. This is an American Conference football game. South Florida coming off the loss to Alabama. Navy coming off a tight one against Memphis.
Navy's always coming off a tight one. Hello.
Oh, my friend. What does the Midshipmen got to do? Because their offense is looking, it looks the same, but a little bit more, I don't know, a mixture.
I need some oomph. I just need some oomph. Just a little bit. Push the fish is about to turn. Come on, Navy. Navy colors, baby. Navy man to the end, no matter what.
So, I mean, if you look at it this way here, Navy's favorite, 54.3% matchup predictors got 45.7%. Navy, if you look at it this way, this is unusual. Navy quarterback is, still at the mire, 337 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 21 out of 38. But the running back is carried 28 times, 209 yards, 1 touchdown. They lean heavily on the run. But look at South Florida. On the other hand, Brown has 79 carries, 357 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He's also the quarterback, 71 completions out of 125 attempts, 885 yards, and 6 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
Damn.
But Chapman, the wide receiver, is leading wide receiver for Navy, is 5 receptions for 100 yards. So Navy still don't pass the ball as much as everybody thinks. And Simmons, who is the leading receiver for South Florida, 15 receptions, 357 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But
what is the point spread here?
Midshipmen's only averaging 113 yards passing, but they're still averaging 223 yards rushing. So the rushing attack for the Midshipmen, how does the Bulls get ready for the option?
Stay put. That is the key to the option. Stay home. Don't overdo the play. Know your assignment. Follow the backup plan. That is the key to defending the option. On the other side of the ball, I wish Navy wasn't so predictable, offensively and defensively. It's like they forgot the forward pass was created. They forgot that the internet is for everybody. It's like they're stuck in time when they play. And the media and the hype around the adjustments that Navy made coaching-wise, we thought we were going to see something different, and we have not. That's what pisses me off about Navy football.
Yeah, if you look at it this way.
To answer your question, to stop the option is to stay put.
Yeah, if you look,
understand the assignment.
If
That's
you look,
the option.
You look at it that way, but most teams, but the one thing about the option is the defensive line hates the cut block. That's going because if you look at the Navy, when they try to chip you, they cut you down. They like to take your legs out from under you. That's what they call. That's what the option looks for because they keep you from not pursuing.
Okay.
That's the key. You over pursue, Navy can throw that little option reverse on you. Comes out of nowhere because it looks like they running the regular option going one way. They put a wide receiver coming back in the middle, and the option and that wide receiver sometimes grab the ball, so the running back and goes the opposite direction. Will we see that kind of a trick play today for the Navy?
No, because it's too predictable. It's uncharacteristic of Navy to do anything outside of the box when it comes to this football team for some particular reason. I don't know if it's something that just is passed down in some particular playbook. I don't know. But if they did get outside of the box and try throwing the ball to other people other than the tight end or the fullback, we can see some excitable football offensively from Navy.
Is it time for Navy to go away from the option and go into a more traditional?
Yes,
even though they're recruiting
45 years ago.
Even though their recruiting is not up to because it's hard to recruit for a Naval Academy because you got to have a letter from congressmen, presidents.
Your mama got to do some awful shit for you to go there.
Yeah, You know, the one thing about the academies are you got to have either a senator, congressman, or a president recommendation
Right.
to help you get in.
Right.
So they don't go out and get traditional athletes, even though they try, do the same thing to recruit, because you got a commitment at the end when you leave. You got to give 2 years back to the Navy because what they
Right.
gave you 4 years prior. So on that said, that's a little bit of a nuance. The option is more suited for them because they get people to, because you go into a naval academy, they got to be athletic, they got to be really to run, be able to run. So basically,
This ain't
you
for the
pass
weak.
BRT. So that's another thing, the issue that has. They don't get a traditional quarterback who can run a traditional offense to like what they see in regular colleges. So stay
Right.
with the option because my background out of football is running the option in high school. We ran the option. We ran the wishbone all the way down to the triple option to the shotgun option out of the triple option out of the shotgun formation. I have seen it all in high school and how our coach came from a high school coach came from Citadel, and he ran the Citadel offense. Basically, it was a triple option at the time back in the '80s and the early '90s. So basically, when we were taught is you cut the lineman down so you can get to the linebackers. That's got to be the key to running this option.
Right.
The key also is your defensive end is going to be on an island. Which does he predict? Does he go after the quarterback? Sometimes he makes the wrong call. If he doesn't stay in between, the best way to defend an option is on your defensive end is stay between the quarterback and the running back. And when the quarterback decides to commit because he can't pitch the ball because you're standing right there, then you tackle the quarterback. But if
That
maybe
linebacker is key to move up, right?
yeah, the linebackers, the key, the linebackers are to move over. What it is, the safety, the defensive end comes in between. If you have your linebacker, supposed to be blind the running back, so he's supposed to take care of the pitch guy. Basically,
Right.
the outside linebacker takes that. The middle linebacker and the back defensive end has to control the backside. If they don't control the
Right.
backside, and you see the front side is going to be covered, and the backside is going to be up, you can see the quarterback call the next play is the option reverse, where he pivots out going that one way, boom, backs it another way, and then you got your defensive end. So everybody in the line has got to play a split. The Lions thing is they got to jump the chop block. I call it a chop block. It's a regular legal block because it's not a double team.
It's borderline, Ray.
It's borderline. But I mean, if they hit him in the thigh, it's not thing. But if you're not taught to hit him at the knee, you're taught to hit him at the thigh to take the legs out on them. Basically, that's the nuance.
The best person I've ever seen to run the option in college was Jamel Holloway. Never seen anybody else pull off the option like that. Never. There's not been one player to run that option the way Jamel Holloway did.
One. I don't know. Perry for Navy ran the option pretty good too. Quarterback Perry.
Okay. He was no Holloway. That dude was special.
Yeah, true.
That's what happens when you choose drugs over sports, kids. You go to prison.
Yeah, so I mean, this is going to be really a nuance because if you look at the interesting part is University of South Florida is only giving up 88 point yard rushing the whole year, only giving up 88. Damn. Not even giving up 100 yards. I don't think Alabama got 100 yards on them.
Shit.
So that's going to be the interesting thing. They only giving up 88 yards, but Navy's sitting here with 223 yards total offense on rushing. You got to make
pound the ball. They're going to pound the ball no matter what.
So you got to make sure that you win the time of possession against Navy. If you don't, that time of possession is gonna kill them. So that's what you got to look at here in this ball game.
Right. I got Navy.
You got Navy. I'm taking the midshipman. I mean, I'm loyal to the Navy because Navy gave me some good opportunities.
We locked in. Both Navy men here.
Look at my head. No, I put it up. Put my head up. So it's on the floor. I think it's on the floor.
FLA, South Florida can throw that ball too, man. They got some speed though. That's the only thing that scares them: their speed and flexibility.
But I'm playing it up in Annapolis. It could be 73 and rainy. So this is Navy weather right here, rainy.
Yes, it is. So. Here comes the rain again.
All right,
Pause on my head like a new emotion.
let's do a speed round real quick, and then we'll take a quick commercial break and come back and do our last 4 games of our
Okay.
things here. Moving right along, trying to get back on time here. So, Old Dominion at Marshall. Who you got?
We are Marshall. Thunder and Herd.
Taking Marshall on that one also. Ball State at Western Michigan.
Me Ball State.
Taking Ball State. I'm going to take Western Michigan. Northern Illinois versus Toledo.
Whoa, I like them torpedoes, but give me in Northern Illinois.
I'm going to take the Torpedoes because they kind of hurt me last week by winning. Number 23, Missouri at Vanderbilt.
First SEC matchup for my dude, Luther Burton. The Commodores of Vandy taking on MIZ-COU. Give me Mizzou.
I'm taking Mizzou on that one also. Boise State at Memphis.
Boise State at who?
Memphis.
Give me Memphis.
I'll take Memphis. I'm going to take Boise State.
Not because of the barbecue, because of the team.
Hawaii travels to the University of Las Vegas, UNLV at 4 o'clock.
Wow, talk about a honeymoon and a bachelorette party. Hawaii or Vegas, baby. You pick, honey. Give me the 808.
Taking 808 also. Hawaii over at UNLV. New Mexico at Wyoming at 4 o'clock.
Ooh. Gonna be some cowboy boots and some hats at this game. Give me New Mexico State.
Ooh, you pulled the. I thought you were gonna go with the Wyoming. There you go with that. I'm going with Wyoming. You're playing in Laramie, Wyoming. I'm going with them. Number 13, LSU travels to Oxford, Mississippi to number 20, Ole Miss at 6 o'clock on ESPN. Who you got?
Dong, upset alert. Give me Ole Miss.
Taking Ole Miss.
Oxford, Mississippi. Stand up and show out.
I think Jalen Daniels is going to have another good game. I think LSU is going to win that game. Number 9, Oregon goes to Stanford at 6:30 on Pac-12. Who you got?
Stanford program, they forgot about football and concentrate on technology too much. So give me Oregon.
I got Oregon too. Iowa State goes into number 14, Oklahoma at 7 o'clock. And hold on, I think that's our next.
All my Oklahoma fans.
Yeah, that's the next game. So we're going to take a quick break. This is All Sports, All Places. Ray Cruz and Dre. We'll be right back after this.
All Sports, All Plays. All Sports, All Plays. All Sports, All Plays. 365, we're making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, then down in the lane. Variety, confidence, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the air, we're taking the nation. All sport, all plays, and working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. All Sports, All Plays. All Sports, All Plays. We on top of our game. All Sports, All Plays. All Sports, All Plays.
This is the Fonx D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at fonxdnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the All Sports, All Plays Network. I am Ray Cruz. Dre will be right back after this. I guess he's still working his way back to the steep. So he'll come back here and join us right quick here. Our next game we're going to break down is Iowa State University at number 14, Oklahoma at 7 o'clock. OU is favored by 19.5 points in this ball game here. The Sooners and the Cyclones. This game will be taking place in Norman, Oklahoma, where the forecast for today's ball game will be 80 degrees in Norman, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's 19.5. The over and under is 48.5. 86,112 people should be at the game today. if you look at it, Oklahoma's offense is 506.8 yards total offense to 308.3 for Iowa State. Both teams are pass heavy. 225.0 for Iowa State, 349.0 for Oklahoma. Iowa State only averages 83.3 yards rushing to 157.8 yards rushing for Oklahoma. But Iowa State defense is better in yardage compared to Oklahoma, which 292.5 is total yards given up by Iowa State to 310.8 for Oklahoma.
Did you see that on TikTok? Did you see it on TikTok?
If you read
what's that?
if you look at the yards total defense, passing Iowa State's only giving up 177.3 yards to 115 yards for rushing. So what's going to give today for Iowa State to win this ball game in Norman, Oklahoma?
It's going to take a lot of mistakes by OU for Iowa State to win this game. I'm talking mistakes early, big mistakes, because OU is a good second half team because they realize they can make mistakes in the game, whether it be penalties or turnovers. Field position is going to be key for sure. I think the tempo of the game needs to be controlled by OU to win this game. If Iowa State controls the tempo, that could be problematic for OU going into the second half of this game. Not an easy win, but it should be a win for OU.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it this way here, and I look at it this way here too, it doesn't matter what the rushing yard is going to be. Both teams are going to be pass heavy anyway because Oklahoma's only giving up 95.3 yards rushing, but Iowa State's only rushed for 83 yards average for the games. But if you look at the last few games here, Oklahoma State, Iowa State beat Oklahoma State 34-27, and Oklahoma beat Cincinnati 20-6. So, I mean, if you look at it those
not quality wins, but it's good. It's good. It's a morale victory, so to speak. You know, we need to do this game. Did we do that? Okay, we need to do this game. Did we do that? Now we're about to get into the nitty-gritty of playing OU-style football. We need the numbers. We need the rise in the occasion. You know, everybody is trying to either go to a specified bowl or put that championship playoff tier in their mindset, which is not a bad thing. I mean, September was a long month in college football. There were some great matchups early. And the teams that didn't get those great matchups early, now this October and November is going to be really, really significant moving forward.
Yeah, and I look at it this way. John Suggs from our Facebook people came out and said Oklahoma's going to crush Iowa, but 21. So that's what he thinks. But
21? Okay,
yeah,
I could see that.
I can look at it this way, too. Is Oklahoma overlooking this ball game, too? There's the same question I asked about Texas overlooking Kansas to the Oklahoma game next week. You know, this game is on the loom. You know, is both teams really looking over their opponents today to get to each other?
Who does Oklahoma play next week?
Texas.
See, that we both know they're looking forward to that game. Are they going to go hard out? They're going to try to finish this game early for their seniors, get their starters out of there and get ready for next week and rest up and match up and plan up. I hate when teams do that, but we all know there are about, 10 teams that are looking forward to the next matchup. They're not looking forward to today's game. And that's wrong. You never paid attention to Betty. She was living next door the whole damn time, but now you want to look at it 30 years later. She's been there the whole damn time.
Yeah, if you look at it this way, too, and I look at it a certain way, Oklahoma and Texas both are looking to win the Big 12 for the last time because they moved to the SEC next year. So, I mean, that's the motivation for both teams right now is to win the Big 12.
Time will tell. Texas wants it, but OU really, really, really needs it.
Now, the next question is, we're seeing a better OU team than we did his first year as the head coach. And I can't think of his freaking name now.
Oh, Max.
Max
Venable.
Yeah, Venable. But his defense is looking like the Max Venable's defense of old. I mean, if you look at it, their passing yards is giving up 215.5. They're only giving up 95 yards rushing. But Iowa State's defense is only giving up 177.3 rush passing, 115 yards rushing. I mean, they've done pretty good to keep teams under 200, but they're not really They played Iowa. You know, they lost Iowa 20-13. They lost Ohio 10-7. They beat Oklahoma State and they beat UNI. But Oklahoma hasn't played anybody all the way up to they got to Cincinnati and they hadn't beat them 20-6. I mean, they beat Arkansas State 73-0. They beat SMU 28-11. They beat Tulsa 66-17. Now you say we get into the nitty gritty to the Power 5 part of their schedule. Is the prelude to this? They got their confidence up with these schools in their first 3-4 games. Cincinnati's just moved to the Big 12 this year, the first Power 5 year in the Power 5. Now, time is telling. Now we're getting to established teams that Oklahoma's very familiar with. Iowa State could pull this upset if they can stop the passing attack of Gabriel. They got to They got to force him to stop that passing attack. Gabriel right now is on a high level. He's on a high level right now. He's playing excellent football. I mean, he's playing really lights out football because his numbers are telling it. He's 92 out of 118. 1,227 yards, 12 touchdowns, only 1 interception. But if you look at Beck on Iowa, he's 77 out of 119, 897 yards and 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He turns the ball over quite a bit. But then how does Oklahoma get Walker to take advantage of some of the stuff that they're going to have to play coverage against Gabriel? So that's going to leave A-man out of the box for Walker. How does Walker get it going in Oklahoma offensive line to take over this game quick?
I'm going to go with that first point you made, the if Iowa State. That's a big if. That's like if I had a fifth, I'd be drinking it right now. If my aunt had a mustache, she'd be my uncle. That's a whole lot of ifs right there for Iowa State to win this game. Let's face it, OU is the better team coming into this matchup, offensively, defensively, collectively as a team. The attention to detail that OU has this year under Max Venable, as you said earlier, some coaches need 2 years. They need 3 years. I think now he's finally getting comfortable. He's taking his shoes off in somebody else's house, and he feels okay without looking over his shoulder. That's cool. But the speed of this team on offense and special teams is way too much for Iowa State. Way too much. I can see if Seneca Wallace was still there at quarterback, but those days are long and gone. This is now. And I think OU is too hungry for the big picture ahead, not just facing Texas next week, but winning the Big 12 championship. I think that's what's on the minds of OU fans. Boomer Sooner.
I look at it this way too, but I think, again, like some people are saying here, it says Oklahoma's going to be crushing Iowa State by 21. Texas,
you think it's going to be close?
To me, probably not. I don't know. It all depends because, like I said, Gabriel's playing lights out football right now. I mean, he's been standing there, he's been taking the hits, and he's been completing the passes. I don't think Iowa State's defense is going to hold up against their passing attack, but I think Walker's going to be the key factor for Oklahoma because I think the running game is going to get going because they can't put 8-man in the box because you got to protect against the pass. That's the problem. And if is a huge word. If, yes. And then Mickey McClay from Facebook also says, "Morning, my brothers." Good morning, Mickey. How you doing?
What's up, Mickey from the state of Washington?
And then John Suggs also says Texas is not going to overlook Kansas. They won last year by 1 point. That's a key point too. But see, my problem is Walker's going to be the X factor for Oklahoma. I think Walker's going to get it going today. If he gets it going, it's going to be lights out for Iowa State. But Iowa State needs to stop the running attack and needs to control the passing game. That's got to be the key for them coming in this ball game. I don't think they're going to do it because I got Oklahoma winning big.
I got Oklahoma winning too.
Both got Oklahoma winning big. All right, we're going to do a speed round all the way down to the number 11 Duke and Notre Dame games. Our next game we're going to be talking about. So East Carolina at Rice. Who you got?
East Carolina.
Taking East Carolina. I'm going to take Rice on this one. Aberdeen Christian at North Texas. Who you got?
I like Aberdeen, Texas.
Taking Aberdeen. I'm taking North Texas. Coastal Carolina at Georgia Southern. Who you got?
Man, I love me some Coastal Carolina, man. They down there in Conway, South Carolina, next door to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Coastal Carolina too, but they're playing at Georgia Southern. Troy
Hello.
at Georgia State. Troy at Georgia State. Who you got?
Me, Georgia State.
Okay, I'm gonna take Georgia State also here on this one. Texas State at Southern Miss.
Texas State. Boo. Southern Miss. Boo.
Yeah, Texas State on that one. Utah Tech
Some bitches.
at Colorado State.
Who playing Colorado State?
Utah Tech.
Give me Colorado State.
Got Colorado State. That one. All righty, my friend. Let's go to this one right here. The Duke number 11 Notre Dame Fighting Irish against number 17 Duke, where college game day is at Duke University today. Who are we looking at today? We're going to look at this here. We're going to set this tone for you. This is going to be at Wallace Wade Stadium at Brookfield. Game day has been there. McAfee has been there doing his show all week long at Duke. Duke has been on a tear the last couple seasons under Mike Elk. Notre Dame matchup predicted 69.4% chance of winning to giving only Duke 30.6% chance of winning the game today. This is supposed to be in a full house of Duke University, but we know that Duke's football fans does not really show up. So it could be more Notre Dame fans at Wallace Wade Stadium than Duke fans today. That is a prop bet in Vegas. Actually, not.
I don't think so.
That is a prop bet in Vegas. It is.
What I'm seeing right now, there are more Dukies there.
Don't let that crowd. Hey, look! Don't let that crowd fool you now. Don't let that crowd fool you, because that crowd's got a mixture of North Carolina State fans in there, some North Carolina fans in there that ain't got no football game today. So they do.
Now you bringing up a technical difficulty on the situation here, Ray. As the TV, they're at Duke. There are more Duke fans there than Golden Domers, but Domers, they sleep late. They sleep late. So
don't let that fool you, because some of them, if you see a Washington State flag in the background, do you see a Washington State flag in the background? Yes or no?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that dude showed up. That dude goes everywhere. He's a Washington State fan.
Everywhere.
He goes everywhere with game day. But anyway, let's continue right along. Sam Hartman has not thrown an interception yet so far. He's 81 out of 115 for 1,236 yards and 14 touchdowns. Leonard Riley has not thrown an interception. He has 2 touchdowns, but he is 67 out of 99 and 778 yards, but he can run the football too, so you got to watch out for the dual threat quarterback. Esteem.
I love Sam Hartman's hair.
This is the key. Esteem versus Waters. Esteem from Notre Dame, 77 carries, 591 yards, and 5 touchdowns. To Waters, 39 carries, 258 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Both teams run physically football at you. They are physical. Both running backs will punish you if you cannot get in tackle. But the key is Tyree, the wide receiver for Clemson, for Notre Dame, against Calhoun, the star receiver for Duke. That's the matchup you got to look for. Both teams' defenses got to take both receivers out. That's got to be the key. But can Duke Blue Devils defense, because they're physical, stop the running attack of Esteem and Notre Dame?
What I saw last week in the Notre Dame game, the way Notre Dame had that game, gave the game away, the communication factor, the discipline, not understanding the moment of the game. And again, nothing against the coach of Notre Dame, but I see one more fucking picture of his family, which has nothing to do with football. If you're going to do it for him, do it for everybody in football. I am tired of it. I want to see this man coach this team, because the expectations of the Golden Domers were way beyond what Lou Holtz took them and Tyrone Willingham. Way beyond that. And he has failed. This is his second year. That was an epic fail last weekend. Notre Dame had that game more than 3 times. More than 3 times. And you got that idiot Day looking like a total ass right now, to me, for his behavior, the way his actions were after the game. But for Notre Dame to win this game today, and I don't think it's convincing, because I got to hit the button. Upset alert. I see Duke doing the improbable, the impossible today. Duke defense is just, it's on a whole different level, and you know this better than me. That defense is different. It's different. It's like ass in the South compared to the Midwest. It's different. Different. And that defense is way on another level. That's not ACC defense. That's a little borderline SEC defense that Duke is playing with this year.
Well, I mean,
and the way that Notre Dame played last week, they have to be a total different team coming into this week. Total different than last week.
I agree with you in that certain point because it's SEC, but you got to think Elko coming out of Texas A&M, so he is predicated to that SEC defense, that more physical, more mentality, and all that. I understand that too. But the question is, this is a bigger stage than Duke has been on in a long time. And I'm going to tell you how big the stage this is. Duke has not brought in bleacher seating into one of the end zones by the school board since the last time they played Alabama.
Damn. And that was for the Alabama fans, wasn't it? Didn't they charge them for that?
Yep. They have not brought in bleacher seating into the end zone by the school board since the last time they played Alabama. That's the last time they had a bigger game and a seat at Duke University. They brought in bleacher seating for this game. Now, my question is, John Suggs said ECU by 7. He said Duke by 14. You see a bunch of Bo Nix signs too. You say a bunch of, and then will Notre Dame cover, Billy says, will Notre Dame cover 5 or 6 points. It's going to be a close game. I give you that. It's going to be a close game.
I see a close game.
But the question is, Sam Hartman is the X factor in this ball game too, because Sam Hartman knows Duke's defense because he played at Wake Forest last year. So the question is, Duke knows how Sam Hartman can spin the ball. Duke got to get a lot of pressure. Notre Dame has given up not a lot of sacks this year because that running back has been effective. You got to slow him down. Can Duke slow him down by putting 8 men in the box and protect the throw from Sam Hartman at the same time? Right. That's got to be the question.
Here's one thing I learned with Sam Hartman at Wake Forest. He does not like to be hit. I learned that when he was at Wake Forest. I learned that big time. But at the same time, what I've learned since he's been at Notre Dame, don't let him get comfortable. Don't let him get comfortable. Or I can see a 400-yard plus day, at least 5 touchdowns. I could see that from him today. To trying to show up Duke. Same old Dukies, same old Sam, but different teammates taking that type of approach. You think you know me, but look at this team I got now. So it could be that situation.
Now, my next question to you is, we brought up the Ohio State game. You brought it up. They lost how they lost. Now they're going to come in with a chip on their shoulder. Now, with that loss to Iowa State with a chip on their shoulder, is that's going to give Notre Dame a more focused point of view to come in to play Duke? Because now, Duke, this is not your usual Duke team that you're going to come in, you look on the schedule and circle it, oh, this could be an easy win. This Duke team has changed over the last 2 years. It has changed the last 2 years. I give Duke credit for that. I give the coaching staff credit for that. He has come in and changed the culture at Duke University. Now made it into more of a football school. But like I said last week, this could be a stepping stone for him to get back into another school. Duke in Carolina is known as a stepping stone for a coach to launch their career to get where they need to be to launch to go to a bigger and better place. But right now, Elko is looking at steadfast right now at Duke University as the coach at Duke. Has now turned Duke into what Steve Spurrier has turned Duke was into, a contending for the ACC title. On that time, they have to get past Notre Dame today to still be within that time frame of the rebuilding process that he has come in and set himself. But can the secondary stay within contact of not putting 8 men in the box to stop his team? His team is going to be the key for Duke and how the Duke is going to dictate their defense. He has to stop the running. If that running attack gets going, then you got to put 8 men in the box. That could get Sam Hartman confidence because you're not blitzing him. because you got to be understanding of the running game. Notre Dame wants to establish the run. Duke wants to take the run away and make Hartman beat them.
I believe that if Duke defense makes a big play first to motivate the crowd and the team, that's going to be trouble. We learned last week that Notre Dame can't do what, kids? Finish the game. It was too much confusion. The indecisiveness on the play calling was up in the air. It was a good matchup for Notre Dame to prove that the Golden Domers belong, and it was an epic fail in front of everyone. So now I do believe that, as you said, a chip on their shoulder. Usually people come into a game or a situation with a chip on the shoulder because they were overlooked. No one thought highly of them. The chip on the shoulder should not be on the mind of Notre Dame because they effed up that game. That was Notre Dame's fault. It was not the Ohio State fault. Notre Dame had that game and gave the game away for undisciplined defense and offense in the play call. So to keep their eye on the prize here, this could be a situation where old school football got to come into play for Notre Dame, because I think that Duke has the intelligence factor and the mindset and the coaching aspect to slow the game down at their advantage point, not just with field position and time of possession, but with the play clock, the way they do the substitution. I think they're going to get real smart in this game by the time that Notre Dame figures it out. If Notre Dame is behind second half, going into the third quarter, that's when it becomes problematic for Hartman. And that's the Duke defense. That's the Hartman they want to see in the second half, that problematic Sam Hartman, because he's going to throw the ball in ill-advised situations. And that defense of Notre Dame, they're trying to show off and show out. The more big moments, they're 4-0. And this is not the war era or the Truman administration. This is Duke football in 2023. It's 4-0 going up against the Golden Domers, who are coming off a win they should have had. Yeah, they're pissed off, but at themselves, not the opposing team. Not to the point we got to go in here and cure Duke. They're not that mad. They're mad at themselves. So Notre Dame is going to go out here and try to play mistake-free football. And every time a team's going there and try to have that mentality, that leads to 3 to 5 turnovers.
Yeah, and then if you look at it this way here, they say Mike do the land. Happy College Game Day, guys. Go Bulls, UCF. I'm calling Hartman to throw two interceptions, John Suggs says today. Sam Hartman's not invincible. He is key to throw some key picks, but he hasn't thrown an interception all season long.
Right.
He played against Ohio State's defense. They didn't turn him over. They didn't turn Sam Hartman over, but they did handle the running back a little bit there to give Duke some key pointers of what, if you go back and watch that game, how they can keep the stats down for the running back. But if you look at both defenses, man, they're pretty even. Duke is giving up more yards, 276.3 a game to 260.6 for Notre Dame. Both teams are giving up 149.4 yards passing for Notre Dame, 143.3 for Duke. But Notre Dame rushing is only giving up 111 yards, 0.2 rushing a game to 133 yards. That's going to gives me a little bit of a scare for Duke, is because, like I said, Epstein has been a tremendous running back all season long. He has pounded the ball for over 500 yards already. He has not looked like he's going to slow down any, because I think the fact is you got Sam Hartman back there just keeping the defense, not putting 8-man, 9-man in the box, because you got to keep honest, because Sam Hartman, like I said, he still can spin the ball, even though he's at a different school, a different offense. He still can spin the ball. I think that's going to give NFL scouts looking at him a little better, saying, hey, he came out of Wake Forest. He played that in the system. And he went to, Notre Dame, played in a totally different system. He could play another style offense. So I think that gives him a better asset of getting looked by the NFL scout. But today, you got to understand, like I said, this is not the same Duke team. Duke is more physical on both sides of the ball. Waters is capable of running the football. It's just like Epstein, but Waters runs with power, and he runs with conviction, and the offensive line is brutal. That's physicality football. It's SEC style football. That's what Mike Elk has brought into this organization. He has brought in a better fitness thing. I like the way he came in and set it straight.